Welcome to our final matchup of the week. Burtucky and Soldier, the 0-3 struggling Soldier. Here we go with the quarterbacks.
I knew he was going to do bad.
You did say that, but I believe that Soldier will be over here anytime to kill you. That said, Jake, I got to ask you a question. Are you going to play Schaub, or at the last minute are you going to do Trent Edwards? Miami gives up a ton of yards in the air, 264. So it's not a bad matchup for Trent Edwards. Mm-hmm. I know you kind of flubbed it last week, and that brought you to 1-2. But I don't know. Who do you think he goes with? You think he's going to stick with Schaub?
Well, first of all, let's get this out in the open. Let's just hope that Jake can manage to get his team to the Soldier Field.
Yeah, that is going to be a little bit tough.
He
has a lot of bad moves. I don't know.
He has not done one good thing all year long.
Yeah. But, I'll just let you rest on that. Schaub versus Kerry Collins. I'm still going to take Schaub. I know Nnamdi Asomugha's playing, but I think he's going to have Kevin Walter, and he obviously has Kevin Walter in his lineup. So you're going to be able to see the Schaub-Walter hookup through most of the day. I think Kerry Collins is a terrible play against Jacksonville.
I disagree with you completely on this one. Anytime that Jake inserts a QB, they suck. Mm-hmm. Schaub's going to have a down week, basically just because of that.
Okay.
And Kerry Collins has to produce a big game. The Titans cannot afford to go 0-4.
I'm pretty sure that everyone said last week the Titans cannot afford to go 0-3.
But they cannot afford to go 0-4, and they get the I'm going to lay down for you Jaguars.
Okay. Well, I don't
Collins.
think you like Collins. I like Schaub. Okay, let's go to the running back. Soldier has Adrian Peterson and Correll Buckhalter. I like Adrian Peterson here, just like everyone else always does. I'm a little bit nervous about Buckhalter going against Dallas, just because Dallas has a pretty good run defense.
Surprisingly good up front.
So I do think that it will help that it is at home, but you always kind of wonder which Denver running back's going to play. Buckhalter probably will be the main scorer, but that said, I don't know that he's going to get a ton of points.
Probably not.
So then we go to the other side, Brandon Jacobs against Kansas City. I like that matchup quite a bit.
Heck yeah.
But I don't know if they'll rest him the whole second half, so I don't know if Jake's going to get the full game benefit from it. If Kansas City can keep it close, I definitely like Jacobs.
Well, I think that it'll be very similar to what happened last week with the Buccaneers. This game will be over early, and look to see a heavy dose of Jacobs early, and then some
Ahmad
Bradshaw sprinkled in, and then a heavy dose of him in the second half.
Okay. Darren Sproles against Pittsburgh. Don't really like him.
I don't.
But you got to use him because he doesn't have too many other people on his bench. LeRon McClain, Cadillac Williams on a Tampa Bay team that, as a team, didn't score more than 5 fantasy points last week.
Yeah, that's bad news. But Sproles is one of those guys that can score 4 fantasy points, or he can go for in the mid-20s.
Yeah.
But you can't like any running back matchup against the Steelers.
Okay, well, I'm going to go with Soldiers running backs on this one. I think that in the end, they'll be able to edge it out just because of Peterson. Wide receivers on the Soldier side, we got Jericho Cotchery, Earl Bennett, Nate Washington. All seem like pretty decent possession guys.
Sure. Some
touchdowns there. Nothing really fantastic.
No, but Cotchery's been a pleasant surprise.
He has been. But with Steve Smith on a bye week, and Brent Selleck, who he would probably use in Daniel Graham's spot, obviously, for the tight end. Those are some receivers that he's going to be missing.
Big time.
So
Steve Smith is big play, and none of his other guys are big play.
Yeah. To the other side, Marcus Colston, Vincent Jackson, Kevin Walter. Marcus Colston is going to be guarded by Revis. We like what Revis has done so far this year. We both have agreed with that. Vincent Jackson against Pittsburgh.
Just as much as we like Revis, Rex Ryan is one heck of a coordinator, one heck of a head coach now, and he's got that Jets defense blitzing from every angle possible. I don't think Colston's going to have a very successful day.
To which I need to apologize to Rex Ryan for calling you Jabba the Hutt. Yes, I know you are a big Star Wars fan, and that kind of probably offended you a little bit. I apologize. I do think that you are a good coach, so please accept both of our apologies.
Well, I love him.
Vincent Jackson against Pittsburgh, and then Kevin Walter. I think Kevin Walter is actually going to have a decent day, as I obviously said before. Well, he does need a haircut, but Matt Schaub is going to have a good day, and I think that Kevin Walter will be the sole beneficiary because of Nnamdi Asomugha guarding Andre Johnson.
That's a good thought.
So I'm going to give the edge to Burtucky's wide receivers here, even though I think it'll be tight. I think they've got a little bit more talent than the Soldiers wide receivers do.
I'm with you on that one, Doug. I think that Vincent Jackson could hit that overly aggressive Pittsburgh defense could hit them a couple times, maybe get a couple big plays out of it.
Okay. All right, well, let's go to tight ends. Dustin Keller against New Orleans and Daniel Graham against Dallas. Kind of call it a wash both ways, I think. Bengals at Cleveland, I kind of like that matchup. I think that the Bengals...
Where did they come from?
I don't know, but I think you might have to correct me on this, but I'm pretty sure they're in at least the top 12 in both categories as far as
I don't know,
rushing and passing.
I agree with you.
But they're pretty good, coming out of nowhere, and they have a decent team this year, believe it or not.
And, man, Genie, he blows.
Yeah.
He's taken that horrible Cleveland team and made them just putrid.
Yeah, and now he's got a whole switching back to Anderson. What's going to happen?
He's a bad apple on the Belichick tree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's horrible.
Well, then you got the Saints against the Jets. Saints defense, you never really know what's going to happen with them because they're not on the. I mean, sometimes the offense is on so many drives. Saints and their defense doesn't really even get a chance to be on the field.
Yeah, I would have to give the Saints a little bit of. I don't know about an edge, but I think that they can place. They play a 3-4 and a 4-3. If you remember the Loins game in Week 1, they came out and played the whole first half in a 3-4 defense. I don't know if the Sanchez is really ready for all these different looks that the Saints might be giving him.
Yeah. Well, what do you think this game comes down to?
I think this is actually going to be. It could actually even be the game of the week, based on how close this game is going to be. I like some of the things that Soldier has going on. I like the Kerry Collins matchup, as I stated.
Yeah.
I love Adrian Peterson at home. But when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, I think that White Trash just has a little too much. And who wants to be the first team to lose to a completely defeated team?
Yeah.
Ask the Redskins what that's like.
Yeah. Well, I would agree with you. I'm going to also go with Burtucky. Soldier's a good guy. But unfortunately, he has Steve Smith on bye, Matt Ryan on bye, Brent Selleck on bye. And a lot of times, sometimes people have that viewpoint of, you know what, let's just lose that bye week and get it out of the way. Unfortunately, it's quickly turning into...
He's done that 3 weeks in a row.
Happening in 3 weeks in a row, and it could be 4. I think that Burtucky wins this game by about...
You were going to be bad.
Stop.
I mean, I told him.
Anyway, I think it's going to be Burtucky by 10, and unfortunately, our friend the Soldier goes 0-4 and drops even further in his division. So that'll wrap up the Commission Anderson Show. We'll be back next week with another round of exciting matchups. We hope you have a good week, and may all your fantasy players be studs.